guys! Welcome back to my channel. First of all, I hope you guys are well and safe during these crazy times. I can't believe it's been over 3 months since the start of quarantine here in Manila. I've honestly lost track of the days and weeks, and I just can't believe it's been this long since the start of this pandemic. So if you're new here, I'm Sophie. I create lifestyle and travel videos, and given the certain situation, most of my trips have been cancelled, so I'm unable to produce brand new, fresh content that's travel related. I usually post my travel photos on my Instagram page, so follow me there if you haven't. I never post real time, but I still want to create brand new content aside from posting throwback travel photos. So I challenged myself to start shooting at home, and honestly, it's not within my comfort zone because I still really prefer shooting outdoors or during my trips, but I really have no choice. For today's vlog, I will be sharing simple and easy steps in shooting indoors as well as maximizing small spaces to create aesthetic photos. So I hope this video sparks some creativity and positivity during this uncertain time. So you've probably watched a lot of videos related to this, and I've watched a lot myself too. Most of the videos I watch share a lot of trending photo shoot ideas, and I didn't want to just replicate that and be something that you might have already watched. This vlog is actually more of a creative process behind my photos and a simple guide in helping you set up your own photo shoot at home and making it unique to you. So this guide is actually applicable to both shooting objects and people. I like structure and explaining things step by step. You might have noticed that with my travel vlogs, so this vlog will be very organized and detailed. Hopefully this helps you whether or not we find ourselves in this situation again. Hopefully never, and I hope this inspires you to start creating. So let's start! The first step is to conceptualize. So don't get intimidated by the word because honestly, this is the easiest and most fun step for me. The reason why I started creating content at home was because I saw so much really good content on my social media. So I was really inspired. The first step is really looking for inspiration and pegs online. So you can find some on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, basically anywhere you can draw inspiration from. And what I do is that on Instagram, if I see a really good photo or video that I like, I use the save option so that I can go back to it easily and see them all at once all together. After you gather all your pegs, you take a look at your space and try to see how you can incorporate your pegs into the space that you have. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, you just have to make do with what you have. Currently, I am inspired by Korean magazines, and I really want to create the same vibe with my recent photos. The vibe is really natural, effortless, and minimalist, so I'll try to recreate that with my photos. For example, for this photo over here, this was actually inspired by the cover of Elle Singapore last May, so you can search it online. So it featured one of my favorite Korean idols, Song Hye Kyo. The first time I saw the photo, I was really inspired by it, and I thought that I could easily recreate it in my own bedroom because there was hardly any props and basically just a white wall and a bed. So I decided to go for that for my first shoot, and I made it more unique to me by the choice of my outfit and my poses. The second step is choosing your color palette. This includes styling whatever you'll be wearing as well as the elements in the entire picture. You have to make sure that you adhere to one color palette and colors work well together on the eyes. This is actually something that I do when I travel. I make sure that the outfit I'm wearing is flexible and match the different spots that we'll be visiting during our trip. So it's a tip that I incorporated in my shoots here at home. For the same bedroom shoot, I decided to wear white even if I'm against a white background, because I wanted the vibe to be very youthful, very fresh, and very light and calm. I also have another shoot over here where I wore brown and neutral tones for my clothes to have that cozy and warm atmosphere for my photo. Planning to be in the shoot or you're planning to take a product flat lay instead, you can still actually use this step. So here's an example of where I took some food shots for my family business. So I wanted this look to be like a cozy afternoon delight. What I did was I chose colors that are very cool on the eyes but not too distracting so that you can still focus on the product itself. So I made sure that the colors didn't distract you or didn't overpower the product. So it made the product still stand out while still giving this like story behind the photo. If you're having a hard time determining what colors work well together, I suggest that you go back to your peg and find similar colors to this. The third step is to find the light. yes, literally find a light source. So usually for my photos, I use natural light. So I shoot in front of a window or near a window. This step also includes finding the best time to shoot for you. So for me, the best time to shoot is during the morning up to the early afternoon because I find that the light is brighter in my area. Really depends on your location and your source of light. You can also still shoot around late afternoon or golden hour because it will really make beautiful photos. I just find it hard or tricky to get the time of the day consistently because it changes per day. I usually don't shoot using artificial lights because I find it too harsh and hard to control. It also usually gives a yellow tint to my photos. So if you don't have a window nearby, use artificial lights if you really have no choice. I think it's a great way to experiment to create dramatic effects and play with shadows. For these photos over here, I actually shot this against a window or near a window and also at our balcony. So I also tried shooting directly under a light bulb or using artificial light, and this is how it came out. I think it came out okay, but I think I need more practice in shooting with artificial lighting. If you have a small garden at home, which I don't, I highly suggest that you try out shooting there. Just make sure that you don't shoot when the sun is really hot or direct because it can cause a lot of harsh shadows on your photos, unless that's the effect that you want. So the fourth step is to use props. This step is all about being resourceful and creative with the random things that you have at home. I suggest taking a really good look at all the items you have at home and seeing how you can incorporate this in your shoot. Some prop suggestions would be books, blankets, pillows, plants, mirror, chair, even fruits and vegetables. So I incorporated a lot of these random things in my shoots, and I suggest that you do too. Whether or not you're going for a minimalist shoot, using props can really help create the vibe and feel for your photos. For example, for this particular shoot, I used a fake flower to have a more playful and happy feel for the photo. And then for this particular set of photos, the props that I used are pillows, a rug, and some books. I wanted to create that cozy at home kind of feel. Another tip in incorporating props in your photos is to place it near the camera or in the foreground to have a lot of layers in your photos and add more dimension to it. So for example, for this shoot over here, I used a crystal. My mom has this white clear crystal and I place it in front of the camera in order to create a lighting effect. I also have another example over here where I place a painting near to the camera, and I'll show you a before and after photo so that you can see the difference. It made the photo less plain and added more colors to it. The fifth and final step is the most challenging and tiring part. Pose all you can or work it. From the conceptualization, setting up the photo shoot, now being the model, it's a lot of work. I know, I've been there, done that. This is even harder if you guys are shooting on your own with a tripod. But if you love the creative process like I do, then it should be a lot of fun. This step is all about playing around with your angles and your poses. Shooting at home or in an enclosed space is actually the best time to try out really weird or funny, silly poses and just being creative because the only one watching you is you or the person taking your photo. So it's really the best time to try out things that are out of your comfort zone. Just a tip, if you're running out of poses, try to go back to your pegs, ones that you've already saved and screenshotted at the start of the first step, and try to see how you can incorporate these in the location or space that you're shooting in, and also of course work with your best angles. And if you don't know what your best angle is, this is actually the perfect time to discover it. So you can try shooting from different angles, like from the top, bottom, side. Just experiment and try to see. I'm sure you'll find out what your best angle is in the frame. The same tip can be applied to shooting objects. So for example, for these food photos over here, I tried shooting it like a flat lay from above, and I also did some close-up shots in order to get more of the details of the products and make the shot more mouth-watering and yummy. Another tip when posing, don't overthink it. Sometimes the ones that you do really randomly or without any effort and thought are the ones that end up really being nice. For example, for this bedroom layout, I last minute decided to jump on my bed like a kid. It was really a silly idea, but it ended up really cute and candid and very natural, which I wanted for the vibe of this photo. Really just have fun because it will really show in the photos, and usually those outtakes end up becoming the ones that you really like the most. All these steps may seem intimidating or may seem to take out the fun out of shooting, but guys, it will really make it easier for you and save you a lot of time. So for me, I usually do the first to third steps the night before, and then the next day, that's when I grab my props, pick my outfit, and set up my shoot location. I also have an added step to do my hair and makeup, and if you guys do that too, you know that it will take a lot of your time. So I suggest that if you want to maximize your day and your time, then follow my easy steps, and along the way, if you keep doing it will come very naturally. Before I end, I wanted to give you guys a glimpse of how I do a mini photo shoot at home. I miss traveling so much that I wanted to somehow recreate this in my photos. So for this particular minimalist shoot, my peg was the lavender fields of Hokkaido, which I was supposed to go to this month, but yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to quickly take you guys behind the scenes of a sample shoot here at home. As you can see, I'm already standing in front of a plain white wall. So I've been using this backdrop for so many of my shoots here. So I wanted to change it up a bit. So I purchased some backdrops online. It's basically just cloth here. I got neutral shades. I got one that's like a beige color, and then I also got a pink one because my feed is all white already. You can actually use any type of cloth that you have at home, but I don't have colored cloth. This is actually really made for photos. It's non-reflective. So I got one that's pretty long. So this one, I can actually stand right in front of it and take full body shots. And then I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna hang this. It actually came with clips, but I don't wanna nail it on the wall. So probably going to just tape it later on. And as you can see, I'm also standing right in front of a window. So I really recommend that if you're shooting indoors, make use of natural light. If you have limited space or limited windows in your home, you can also shoot outdoors or use artificial light. So let's start. I'm gonna call some help from my sis, Sam. Okay, let's do this. So next, we're gonna get some props and then gonna change to a different outfit. This is my outfit for the shoot. So it's sort of like a walking on a field with my fake flowers that I'll be using for props. Let's see how this shoot will turn out. I hope you guys found some inspiration from this video. It's a really hard time to create content nowadays, but my best advice is really just push yourself to start. It's hard to find that motivation or rely on that creative spark all the time. You have to really make that decision for yourself. Once you start, you won't regret it. When I started taking photos 2 months in quarantine, I've never felt more alive. My shoot days are really my best days and when I feel most myself. As they say, the hardest part is really the beginning. So you just have to start. Once you get the ball rolling, you will keep at it. So if you found this photo shoot guide helpful, please do support my channel by leaving me a thumbs up and a like down below. Leave me a comment on what you think. I would really appreciate your thoughts as well. If you're able to use my tips and followed my steps in your photos, please do tag me. I would love to see them and repost them. And if you're curious also to know what cameras I used in the photos I showed earlier, I have a separate vlog just on my camera gear. So you can check it out over here and in the description box as well. If you like content such as this, please don't forget forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every week. Also, leave me a comment on a suggestion on what else you want to see on my channel. So that's it for now, guys. Happy creating! Bye!